Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the greatest video games of all time. That, I believe, is a pretty uncontroversial statement. As far as any sort of statement about a work of art can be objective, it is objectively true that it's one of the highest rated games of all time. It is objectively true that it swept awards shows and took home countless accolades for its visuals, writing, music, storytelling, and world design. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not only the best game that Rockstar has ever made, it's frequently referenced as an example of video games as art. Look how far we've come from Pong and Leisure Suit Larry, people will say, pointing to Red Dead Redemption 2's mature story and intricate character writing. But I have no desire to play it. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been in my backlog for years, and yes, when I say my backlog, I am literally referring to an Excel spreadsheet I made that tracks games that I have purchased but never finished. God, I'm a fucking dork. I was inspired by videos I had seen of people doing similar things, and I wanted to broaden my horizons beyond what I had been playing, which pretty much amounted to Elden Ring and nothing else. Morrowind, The Witcher 3, Final Fantasy, all of them. Even genres I had never tried before, like fighting games with Street Fighter 6 and Guilty Gear. The list kept growing and growing. It's hard to pin down exactly what didn't click with me in the game. On paper, Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely, unequivocally my shit. It's a story-driven action role-playing game with a historical setting that is of great personal interest to me. It's not exactly a Western, it's a response to the Western as a genre of entertainment, and to the West as an idea, both in fiction and in history. That sort of meta-narrative and philosophical set dressing is like catnip to me. I am a huge fan of any time that a work of fiction uses the past to talk about the present. But when I sit down to play the game, it simply doesn't land with me. Sure, it's beautiful. Sure, the quality of the writing is far above your typical video game fare. Sure, it's an incredible technical feat that Rockstar managed to recreate late 19th century America in such a vivid and realistic way. All of that is true, but my God, I am so bored. Even the action scenes, galloping horses, midnight train robberies, gunfights across sprawling western towns, have the same effect on me as downing a bunch of NyQuil and crawling into bed. The whole time, I'm just thinking, I wish I was doing anything else. But it's on the backlog. The spreadsheet says I have to play it. It's quote-unquote, bold text, one of the best games of all time. And how can I stand here and say I'm a real-ass gamer girl if I have never even finished Red Dead Redemption 2? You may think this sounds a little absurd, but when I think about relegating this game to the did not finish column of the spreadsheet, I am overcome with sharp, genuine feelings of guilt and self-criticism. I'm not a quitter, a little voice in my head says. I'm going to put my head down and power through this even though I hate it because that's what you do. There's a weird sort of anxiety that comes along with taste and entertainment, especially if you put your experiences out there online like I do. I have, admittedly, a very small audience, but I still feel the pressure that I ought to appear to have good taste. I want people to think that I appreciate games on a deep level, that I like good things, and that I have interesting things to say about those good things. It's a little narcissistic at the end of the day, honestly. Why should I care about what strangers on the internet think about the video games that I play? But the feelings are real. So, in an effort to deprogram myself a little of this anxiety, I have decided to quit my backlog. I haven't touched it in months, ditching it in favor of a more vibes-based approach where, and I know this might sound like a shocking proposition, I play what I feel like playing. The results, I'm happy to say, are far from prestigious. One of the games I have sunk the most time into lately is Zenless Zone Zero, the video game equivalent of a burrito you DoorDash to your house at 1 a.m. after a night of tequila and bad decisions. It is one of the most vapid games I have ever played. It has nothing especially important to say. The characters are shallow, the story is incomprehensible, the fan service is beyond shameless, and goddamn if I don't love it. This is not the kind of game I'm going to make a video essay about with somber background music and references to literature and history and religion, but sometimes, and maybe more often than I'm willing to admit, it's what I'm in the mood for. Another game I have put hundreds of hours into over the past year is Destiny 2, the Bungie MMO looter shooter currently on life support with a community that loves nothing more than to regularly and viciously tear it to shreds even while they spend every waking moment playing it. Again, I have nothing profound or even all that interesting to say about Destiny 2. It's really fun. The gunplay and build crafting is second to none. It's very satisfying to click on the enemies' heads and watch them explode into pretty colors. It's like Cocomelon for guys in their 30s who spent their high school years in Halo 2 lobbies instead of talking to girls. I'm currently playing the same dungeon over and over and over again, grinding for a special shiny version of this grenade launcher that I'll probably never use. The point is, I have spent a lot of time playing these games, and I have nothing to show for it. They aren't the sort of games I can generate content around. I'm just playing them for fun. What a waste of time. Is what the old version, the spreadsheet worshipping version of me, would have said, and that is what a backlog does to you. With the almighty spreadsheet hanging over my head, I had turned my hobby, a thing you're supposed to, do for fun, into a source of stress and guilt. It was a job. And I already have one of those. I don't need another one. Whenever I sat down to do something I actually enjoyed, a little nagging voice in the back of my head reminded me about the spreadsheet. Hey, infomercial, you still haven't finished Morrowind. You still haven't finished Red Dead Redemption 2. You still have hundreds of hours left to go on finishing every single Final Fantasy game. Jesus, why did I make that one of my goals? It got to the point that instead of spending time playing a game I liked, I would just mindlessly scroll through social media on the couch in the evenings, avoiding games altogether because it either felt like work or it felt like I was neglecting work. I don't want to be too harsh on backlogs here. I can't deny that it did get me to branch out and try new things. Persona 5, one of the games on my backlog, turned out to be one of my favorite games I have ever played. And if anything else, it has helped me come to terms with the fact that some games just aren't for me. And that's okay. And I do appreciate the core idea of a backlog. Today, especially if you play on PC, games are cheap. Not the newly released AAA games, but there are constant Steam sales marking down excellent games to pennies on the dollar, giving you a genuine sense of FOMO. A feeling that if you don't buy it now for $5, you'll never buy it, and you'll never play it. Your library grows and grows with all sorts of things you just never touch. It's a kind of digital hoarding, and it can absolutely lead to paralysis and avoiding this hobby altogether because you feel like it's just too hard to make a decision. So, by all means, if a backlog is helping you clean up some clutter and try new things, who am I to take that away from you? But there's a certain kind of person, and I definitely fall into this category, who can't help but turn their hobbies and interests into a job. We systematize things. We make spreadsheets, we churn out content, hop on the hamster wheel, and never get off. We feel a certain sense of guilt if we think that we are wasting our time, so we try and justify even our downtime by saying it's productive in some way. We're working towards a goal, we're growing our channel, etc. It's a surefire way to burn yourself out on something that you love. So, if you need to hear somebody say it, I will. I am giving you permission to stop. Slow down, enjoy your life, because nobody else is going to do that for you. Thank you for watching.